Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, but it's something a little different. Star Wars Saturdays is my ongoing anthology campaign that I've been running with lots of folks, currently from the Gauntlet. And what I do is I post up a game series every month that is some RPG that I've hacked or reskinned to be played in Star Wars. And this month, Donogh offered a special one shot of a game that you ran at a previous like a mini con. Is that when you ran Terps, or was
No,
it
that
just straight up
was
Terps as is?
Terps as is, yeah.
As
About a
is cool.
year ago, I want to say.
I do remember coveting that spot, and it was very wonderful when you reached out and said, "Hey, we could try this in Star Wars. That's awesome." Terps is a game from Jason Morningstar of Bully Pulpit Games. It is basically a LARP that he created, in response to recent actual current events. It is a sci-fi gloss to some real things that have happened in his emotional response, as he says in the PDF of it, is uh, yeah, it's drawn from real stories, and real stories that he used several situations in here from combat interpreters. So we will be playing this game with two GMs, as you can see here. It says co-GM for me and co-GM for Donogh. That is the way the game is designed, which I love. Very interested in how this goes. So we have two players who are both Terps or interpreters, combat interpreters, on a far-flung planet that the Empire has decided might be worth colonizing. Um, so that's the setup. Is there anything else, Donna, that you wanted to make sure we stated in the
No, I
start?
think that covers the important points, I think.
Ooh.
So yeah, I guess we should start playing. The first scene is kind of an introduction. Um, this scene takes place in the forward operating base Steadfast. Two Imperial officers are interviewing new combat interpreters. Um, so in this scene, I will be playing Lieutenant Path. I will be deferring to Captain Harglen. You can. You want to play Captain Harglen, Rich, if that's okay?
Of course I
You'll be
do.
you'll be doing some of the heavy lifting in this. I'll be
I love
supporting.
that I've never played this, but you give me the hard part first. It's good. I'm gonna get it all over with. All the screw ups will happen right away. Hard Glenn. Oh, I misspelled my own name. Sorry about that. Cool. Let's start off with asking a couple questions. So, Cody, um, what is the because this is Star Wars, like there will be one general environment of the planet as we start. We could explore others. How would you describe the planet on which we're at? Let's go ahead and use the name of the planet uh from Terps. So it
It's
is
Sarai.
Sarai. Yeah, Sarai. What is the general either color or environment of Sarai that you have in your head, Cody, for
I
this?
think Sarai is uh it's beautiful. I think it's lush, it's green, it's alive, it's vibrant. At least it was.
Oh,
The forward operating base, not so much. But I think the planet is alive with alien life and sentient life and now imperial life.
and then Anish, what is the resource this planet offers that the Empire covets?
Huh. Um, I was thinking maybe we're just producing food for like there's a real actual base that's like fairly nearby, but there's a whole lot of people there that just need to be fed, and we're the only really planet nearby that's suitable for agriculture.
Okay. All right. The two of you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we first see Smokey and Dizzy as you're lined up with a few other combat interpreters to be, and a man wearing Imperial uniform. He's got the few red and blue bars that nerds on Wikipedia will identify as a captain. He has the pants that flare out, the British style pants that have this extra cloth for no apparent reason. And he marches up the line and then turns back down and stops in front of you, Dizzy. But of course, it is interesting that all of you have offered to work as combat interpreters, but I'm going to need to know a few things about each of you. You, he points to you, Dizzy. What is your name?
My name is Villabenka.
Path.
So,
What are we going to call Bella here?
and Lieutenant, I said Lieutenant Path because that sounds overly British.
Sounds very imperial.
Yeah. Is a young, barely shaving, but kind of skinny, wiry-looking man. He takes out a pad and swipes a few pages across. Dizzy, sir.
Good. Thank you, Lieutenant. How did you learn the common language, Imperial Basic, Dizzy?
I worked at Cooperativet, local NGO.
Very well. Marches down the line, stops in front of you, crisply, Smokey. And you, what's your name?
Stega Vesif. Yeah, Stega. Yeah, that's my name.
We'll call you Smokey.
My name's Stega. Stega.
Did you sign the writ to work as a combat interpreter, Smokey?
I believe I filled out the data pad. Yeah.
Are you interested in actually being paid the stipend offered for your work?
Yeah.
Is any part of that agreement?
Yeah, no, Smokey.
You have a bit of an accent, Smokey. When did you learn Imperial Basic?
Oh, I was taught by some relatives of mine. They lived in the Empire for a time, more towards the core. It's I guess it's a little
What
bit
did you do before you became a combat interpreter?
Oh yeah, I ran my own Gorp cart and I served Gorp. Yeah.
Gorp.
I'm a bit of a Gorpman.
Path! Lieutenant Path, what is Gorp?
It's a rather unsavory snack. The locals eat. I mean, I think I've passed by a few carts, and well, don't be in the wrong side of the wind, sir. That's all I'll say.
Repugnant.
An acquired taste, I assume.
Well, I assume the Gorp cart was not enough for you to. What will your salary support, Smokey?
Well, I have a family. I have a wife and some kids. Three youngins, knee high to a nug. Can you believe it? It's pretty small. Yeah, I got a family that need this.
Good. I'm glad you have proper motivation. Appreciate that. Dizzy, why did you volunteer to work for the Empire? Why is it we can trust you?
I also need the money.
And what if, perchance, the rebels decided to pay you on the side? That would be money, would it not?
I would never take their money. No, sir.
Remember, don't trust the rebels, because if they pay you a stipend and you do turn on us and we find out, you'll be killed. But if you work for us, then we will fulfill the contract and you will be able to leave Sarai. You don't want to stay here. This, as you can see, is an active battlefield. We appreciate the sacrifices that all of you are making. We have high expectations for you as well. And in the end, you will be able to be part of the Empire in safety. Path, take care of inoculations and get them ready to be assigned to the units.
Sir, yes, sir. And as Captain Hartland walks away briskly, Path, makes another couple of swipes and checks on his datapad. And right, let's get you situated. Okay. So there's our first scene. Check a box. So now we're going to move on to the first of our regular scenes. Rich, do you have any ideas or preferences on the scene? I would like to throw someone in straight into a work scene.
Ooh, a work scene sounds fun. Let me take a look at our work scenes. Oh God, yeah. I remember reading the interrogation one and thinking, "Holy crap, that's the worst. It has to happen." So let's just. Do you want to go exactly from 0 to 60, or do we want to lead into that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, that was my secret preference myself, Rich. So we're on the same wavelength.
Delightful.
And if it's all right with you, I will keep the GM one slot, and you can be a nameless Imperial officer. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I like being a nameless Imperial officer.
So Andish, let's give this scene to Vela, if that's all right. So this scene takes place at the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau base, Kausimi. The Terp is interpreting an intelligence interview with a high-value rebel prisoner. I will be playing a wounded rebel insurgent. chained to a chair, and Rich will be playing a nameless Imperial officer. Yeah, I think maybe it's a good chance to build a little bit, because this is a different place from our last scene. Where do we think, Cody, maybe, where do we think this base is, and what does it look like?
This base, I think, is not to steal from Andor too much. I think it's a luxury building that's been taken over as a kind of base for the ISB section of the Empire. So maybe it was the local mayor's old palatial estate that has since been cleared out and given over to high-ranking Imperials.
Cool. And Andish, maybe, do you think when Vela is walking into this building, is she getting like dirty looks or questioning looks from people, or is she like being brought in the back way in a combat vehicle? What's the setup here?
I think she's driven up to the front door, and at first there's someone. I don't know. Are there like stormtroopers here, or are we playing this as like more local troopers?
Yeah, I think maybe Imperial Army troopers are here. I mean, maybe there's stormtroopers around, but not here.
Yeah. So I think they like at first they stop her and say, no, you're not going in here, and she shows some data pad document or card or something, and yeah, they check it and they like pat her down, and then she has to repeat the same procedure like 2 or 3 times because she gets stopped at everywhere there's a checkpoint. It takes like 10 minutes for her to get past.
What is it about Dizzy that marks her as definitely a local?
I think there's something in the appearance. I mean, the picture is very human looking, but I think there's something that clearly marks them. I'm not sure. I look at Smokey here, Stega, and see. I think maybe it's those teeth, like they have, no, like Stega looks like he has like proper tusks, and maybe they're not as marked on her, but she has these like, big proper marked teeth that stick up a bit, and that's enough to make her stick up.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, there's you're brought up, and maybe there's like an official process for this, but you're pretty much put into an interrogation cell with an Imperial officer you've not met before. There's a prisoner chained to a chair. He is a local. He's like I don't know, mid-30s maybe. Has those tusks, but like reeks of the fields. The kind of local agricultural produce is just like being sweated out of his pores. It's like maybe he's a farmer, maybe he was caught in a field or whatever, but it's definitely pervasive in the room.
Also in the room, like you arrive and you see that person. Are they restrained? Is the rebel insurgent restrained?
Chained to a chair is the description.
Chained to a chair. Good to know. Let me change my. This Imperial officer, our nameless Imperial officer who is here conducting the interview, has no name tag, no sign of rank. They're a little sweaty. They're definitely not nearly as buttoned up as someone like Lieutenant Path or Captain Hargren. You a Terp?
Yes, sir.
Good. We can't make heads or tails of what this rebel has to say. I know that you people sometimes speak with hand gestures. I keep close eye. And then he walks over and leans in. Who were you working with? Who gave you the keys?
Why are you keeping me here? I've done nothing.
We've had this conversation already. And you're still here. So obviously, that is not the solution to the problem. And then the officer reaches over and pokes the rebel's shoulder, but it happens to be the wounded shoulder. Are you paying attention? Who were you working with? Gave you the keys. You know you were caught in a secure position with sensitive information. Who gave you the keys? How did you get inside?
And he looks at Vela. When can I get out of here? I did nothing wrong.
What's it saying? Dizzy, right? Dizzy. What's it saying?
He wants to know when he can leave. He says he has not done what you are accusing him of.
Tell him that he was caught in a secure facility. Tell him that we know he did not have access. All I want to know, Dizzy, is I want to know who helped him get inside. We're just trying to close the loop here.
He says you must explain how you came to be in this secure facility where you were apprehended.
I can't read their fucking signs. I wandered across a line. That line wasn't there before. I don't know.
But you must have keys to get inside.
No, I don't know anything about any keys. Just tell him I'm innocent and get him to let me free.
He says he did not know it was an imperial facility. He accidentally walked inside. He
Did you accidentally walk inside here, Dizzy? I know there are at least 3 checkpoints before you get in this place.
No, sir.
Exactly. So do you believe him?
I don't know the facility where you found him, so
If I could take you there, but here's the thing, Dizzy. This guy has been giving us runaround. As you know, our stupid droids can't interpret half of what they're saying. It all comes through as a bunch of junk. Listen, he had a bomb. Okay?
yes, sir.
He had a bomb with him. And he was just really worried about my kids, right? It was a housing unit. I need to know. Let this fool in there. Come on, Diz, work your magic.
He
Tell
says
him
to,
he's not getting out, that he's not getting out of here until he tells us who got him inside.
he says you had a bomb and you he cannot let you out until he knows who let you in.
The bomb. I don't know anything, you know. I'm just a simple farmer, you know. I can't understand their rules.
He says he's a farmer. He don't know anything about the bomb. That is what he is telling.
All right. Takes you by the shoulder, Diz, and he pulls you aside and he says, listen, you can't buy this, right? You don't know this. Listen, I'm gonna step out. Maybe he'll be more comfortable just talking to you. This is all gonna go so much faster if we can just know who it is. He's obviously not important. They set him up. Walking in there with a bomb. Says he's a farmer. Listen, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And, you know, I have no idea what happens in here. The Empire has rules. Diz, you do what you need to do, okay? Help me out. It's important.
I understand, sir.
Okay. Claps your back and then he glares at you and steps out.
And I think as soon as that lock clicks, the rebel insurgent looks over at Vela and says, "So what's your real name? Can't believe the kind of shitty nicknames they give us here."
I know. It's demeaning. But he will not give up. He thinks maybe you were set up, but he will not leave here until you have told him who helped you.
You're being pretty cautious. You don't want to answer my question?
I don't know if your story is true, then it doesn't matter if you know my name, and if it isn't, then
we know who you are, Vela. We know your brother.
if you know my name and you know who my brother is, then you know why he is in prison.
He's in prison because what? They think he's a rebel.
That is what they say.
I mean, they're wrong, obviously.
Are they?
You think a rebel would still be rotting in prison if he was useful?
If he was useful to them, he would be.
Listen, get me out of here. you have the power, right? Or are you just a pawn of the empires?
I can't let you out of here. They will kill me. They will kill my brother.
They'll kill your brother? Listen, if you don't get me out of here, your brother's on the chopping block. You get shivved in a cell tonight.
So I'm going to cut for a second. We've got to ask first on threats to family members. I just want to check in. Is everybody cool with that, or do we need to? Okay. Cool. All right. Cody, you good as well? Okay. And Donogh?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Back in.
I can tell him your story, but I can't promise he will be convinced. I don't have the power to let you out.
Well, the people I know are going to be very interested in whether you're a believer in the Empire or you're a loyal native of Sirai. We're watching you and yours.
I need the money. Cooperativet was shut down. I need money to live, to keep my brother alive. If you have the power to have my brother killed, you can have the power to get him out of there. Then I don't need to do this anymore.
Well, maybe you can put in a word with your brother. Next time you see him, tell him to change sides.
If you can't help me, then I can't help you.
So yeah, I think the rebel insurgent goes silent for a while, at least till the Imperial officer's 5 minutes.
Yep. 5 minutes pass. The officer walks back in, and do we cut there? Because do we edit there?
Yeah, I think. Cody, do you have anything you want to add, or do you think now?
No, man, I'm just over here biting my freaking nails. Yeah, that's intense. No, nothing to add here.
Okay. I do have one little bit. I think the officer enters, looks over, walks over. Well, Dizzy, what'd you find out?
He's still telling the same story. He's farmer. He wandered in by mistake. He didn't know he had a bomb.
They said you were good. They said you actually knew what you were doing.
I can tell you what he is saying. I'm not an interrogator.
Obviously. And then we'll cut.
Okay.
So do I check? Yeah, you've already done.
Yeah.
Sorry, I checked your scene for you. I got all excited.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm just looking at the time. Do you want to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back to
let's take a 5-minute break.
Stega's scene. Okay.
Okay. Next is a scene for Smokey. You had an idea?
Yeah. So, I think I want to have something else kind of professional before we hit some family scenes. But I think there's one here called The Interview, which is like in the same location as we just had a scene for Dizzy. So like there's a parallel there, but it's very much a more bureaucratic setup. You'll be playing another nameless security officer, Rich, though, which is why I have But if you want to swap, that is fine.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's fascinating. Okay, okay. Sorry, I hadn't read this one through. Yeah, this sounds good. I'm happy to be the nameless security officer. And this is an interview, so it's not in the same. It's in the same facility. Maybe we like
In the
camera
same
passes.
facility, but I imagine in a very different location.
Yes, very different location. Maybe you walk past. Smokey walks past the area where the interrogations took place. Maybe they're taking place right now. Who knows?
And in this, I will be being the voice of doubt of the Terp. So you can check on anything I bring up in terms of the minor things in your past or your family's past that would get you into trouble. I will interject a couple of times at least, or anytime there's a pause, I will drive a truck through it. Yeah, so maybe for Anders first, in terms of setting the scene, like how different is this interview room from the one we just saw Dizzy do her interrogation in?
I think this is like a huge room that used to be like the private chambers of the mayor or whatever. So there's like a giant 4-poster bed against the one wall, and there's big windows, like French windows opening up onto a balcony, and they've placed this. There's like this ornate desk that they've shoved out into the middle of the room, and all the other furniture is like pushed up against the wall. So there's just this one desk in the middle of the room with one chair behind it and one chair in front of it.
And Cody, before we start, I'm wondering, obviously, like there's nothing here that like gives away Imperial plans or anything like that, but is there something here that like sends you a signal that you're like a small, almost insignificant cog in the kind of vast Imperial bureaucracy or
Yeah,
operation?
the two things that kind of give that feeling, aside from the size of the room, that it's just made so large and the chair that I'll be sitting in is so small, is the frequent coming and going of messengers, hands. At every beat, there's somebody bringing a message, delivering it to a person in the corner who's sitting at a desk, and they give them another data pad, and then they walk out, and they turn and take that first data pad and put it into a chute in the back of the wall, and it zips out somewhere. And it's just a constant flow of information and decisions and messages and intelligence that is zooming past Smokey and this officer as they're sitting for this interview.
Any other questions, Rich, you have for setting the scene?
Oh, that's really good. Thank you. That gives me a good vibe on things. Good job, Cody. Good job, everybody. Good job, Anders. I'm imagining there's a little bit of like a bullpen, small cubicles, the half walls, and this officer. You've been sitting there for a bit. Someone directed you to sit there. You've had all this commotion going on. He comes over. Vesif. Yes?
Yes. Stega Vesif. Yep.
Stega Vesif. Good. He sits down and scoots his chair just a little bit so he's not sitting behind the desk, and you're beside the desk, right? You're not behind the desk, it's just beside. And there are people that walk by, but he tries to create a little bit of a space for the two of you to talk. He says, Do you need a drink of water?
That'd be appreciated. Yeah, water would be nice.
Good, good. Just a moment. He gets up and he walks around. There's a area where there's small decanters, and he pours a glass and marches right back over, hands it to you.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. This is good. This is clean. This is nice. Yeah.
I've heard some good reports about you, Stegavesa. Good reports. You have a good track record.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, with the work is well, it's yeah, you just say what you say. You know, you guys are really the ones doing the work, I guess, right? I'm just kind of repeating what you, I mean, what am I doing, you know?
Well, there were a few details that stood out for me. And there, just last week, you pointed out an IUD, like a improvised explosive device that a couple of the troopers hadn't picked up. You saved some lives there, Stegavesa.
Well, it's those IEDs. No, there's no telling who it's gonna hurt. You know, you can't just see something and not say something. You know,
Absolutely. That's why we're here, to try to free your planet of these rebel influencers. They don't care who they hurt. They don't. What? How did you know to find it?
When you might have read in the file and the reports and the whatnot that I used to run Stega's pork shop. You know, I ran that vendor cart like you'd never seen. Not unlike this well-oiled machine here. I know these streets, sir. I know which side of the barn the butter's on, if you know what I mean. And
Nope, not the foggiest idea.
it's a saying here. I know where things belong, and sometimes you just you see things. Oh, that's not normal. You think, oh, hey, I should. What's that? That's not normal. That's not how it's supposed to be, you know. And I didn't even know what it would be. I just knew it wasn't right. You know, I knew it wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, man. Just keep plugging that line, because if they wonder how you knew it was an IED, then it's a world of hurt, right? They're fishing for. They know. I mean, they think they know we're on the rebel side, because like, how else would we know what one of their IEDs looked like, man? Shit. Just hope he moves on. Hope he moves on. Just act casual, not too casual.
That's good. Those instincts are what has, well, it's gained the notice of some important people, Stegavesa.
Oh. And what like, maybe we're gonna me and my family are gonna be able to emigrate faster, that kind of thing. I mean, that's what I'm doing it for, right?
It is. It's not just the money.
No. Stegavesov's not in it for the money. I can run a very successful Gorp card anywhere in this galaxy. It's peace. I'm doing it. I'm doing this. I want peace. I want a nice, safe place for my kids to grow. And if I can get out of this area, this should all be in the file. I thought I would have imagined. I mentioned this in the original interview. There was a hard Glen.
I read the original, but just some pieces that I wanted to fill in myself. That's all. Just a few questions I wanted to ask myself.
Hey, remember shit, how old is he? Like 3? The kid drew a picture of an X-wing, and you said it was good, really good. It was like you put it on the wall. It lasted at least a month. That's a record for the 3-year-old's art. Oh, shit. Maybe that's something. He wants to dig deeper into our history. Shit. Stupid art. X-wings are stupid.
How large is your family again, Stegavessa?
3 kids, and my wife. Yes, so there's the 5 of us, 5 total in my immediate family. I'm, there's cousins and aunts and uncles and grandfolks. I'm just not counting them in this question. If you want the exact total, there's my dad's side. He's got 4 brothers, and
Well, let me cut you off there, Stegavessa. How many? I see that we have 5 on the immigration form. I just want to make sure that's the total number, because we've had some concerns with people. Combat interpreters served well, given it their all, and when it comes time for transfer, all of a sudden the number changes. Oh, I had a couple of kids, or oh, I got remarried, and I understand. Live your life. But it causes some irregularities. So 5's the number, right?
5 is the number. It's me, the wife, and the 3 kids. Yeah, the 5 of us. The 5 of us.
Okay. That's it. That's all.
For the entire interview? Or I should go?
That's good enough. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. I don't mean to ask any questions. You mentioned somebody important. Is that related to the form that you're talking about, or
But I did see here that you're a bit of an artist. Is that right?
Oh yes, a culinary artist. Yeah, yes. Again, my Gorp, galaxy renowned. Well, okay, maybe not galaxy renowned, Sarai renowned. Okay, maybe not Sarai renowned, but this quadrant, they know it. You ask anybody about Old Stega, they know the Gorp. Yeah, so yeah, I'd say I'm something of a Cuisinart, maybe. Is that what you meant, sir?
So it's food is your art, not drawing or anything.
No drawings, no drawings. I did have to I did have to detail my cart once. And that it looked terrible, but the color was nice. But no, I don't have an artistic a traditional art bone in old Vesiv's body. No, nothing here. It's nothing like that, sir.
All right. Oh, thank you. You can go.
Okay. Let me finish this water. I hate to waste it, Okay, and
You can take the glass with you.
No, I don't need the glass. That's no, somebody else might need the glass. Vela might come by and need a glass. Sir, I don't need any water. I don't
doubt that's going to happen.
Oh, all right. Well, here's the I'll just leave it here. I'll leave it here, and
that's quite all right. Please take it with you. Please.
Okay. I'll take this with me.
Thank you.
Drop it off
Have an excellent
cart
day.
on the door. Oh, you too, sir. You, sir. Right. And yeah, so Stega walks the glass out and he's like shaking. He tries to reach towards the cart or the corner where the water decanters are and just leave it there. He doesn't want to take anything home.
Seems like a good cut to me.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, awesome. So, any thoughts, Rich, on the next scene? I think it would be good to have a group scene.
Yeah, group scene sounds awesome.
Any jumping out at you there?
Kind of like the bad guy. Because I
Yeah.
want Visa update to happen, but I feel like it needs some space from that
Yeah.
last scene.
Yeah. Let's try the bad guy cell. So this scene takes place in forward operating base Steadfast. The Terps are relaxing in their racks when Jalko Razvoye, a local food server in the palatial imperial cafeteria, drops by. This must be an old competitor of Stega's, right?
I like that.
His
That's
dorp
cool.
is obviously not as good, but
It's
maybe
inferior
it
Gorp.
suits imperial palates. So I will generally facilitate, maybe play an imperial army soldier who rocks in.
Okay.
And Rich, you can play aforementioned Jalka, if that's all right.
Sure. So Jalka, I think, appears. Are you cool, Cody, if he's the same species as Stega?
Hey, the more the merrier. The Ugnaught, the Ugnaught people spread. We proliferate.
Indeed. So he's an Ugnaught. He's got a little bit better artistic skills than you. Stega has of his little card as he pushes it in. He's got some cool kind of flames. He's got a couple of Imperial logos on the side. And he wheels it in. You can smell the gorp coming before the scent precedes him. He comes in, pushes the cart into the combat interpreters section. It's Jalka. Bela. Stega. Hey, how are you two doing?
Hey there, Jonka.
What you reading there, Vela?
Oh, it's just oh, would she? I was thinking she would be reading, but I can't think of something. I mean, she can't be reading a novel because who knows how that, like, it could be political or something. I think she's reading some kind of instruction manual for something that's not to do with the Imperials, like for I don't know, agricultural equipment or something. So I'm just reading this manual to in case they need to ask questions about the machines.
Huh. Oh, well, he's not reading any of that Imperial crap, are you? Grin as he looks around, knowing that you guys can understand what he's saying, but the imps don't know.
She pretends to just be reading and ignoring him.
Jelko,
Hey,
I'd really
yeah.
be watching watching yourself with comments like that, man. I mean, I just had an interview down at like I don't know, I just see it. It's pretty bold is all I'm gonna say, which is crazy coming from you because your food's not that bold. You know what I mean, Jelko? It's just surprising.
Well, I didn't go out of business like somebody. Maybe
Well,
bold was a couple of overextending decisions. I remember that you got the new cart and you had to paint it up, and then all of a sudden you just didn't have it. I couldn't make the payments. At least that's how I remember it. I could be wrong. Maybe that was just the scuttlebutt on why the Gorp cart that everybody loved is just gone, and now you're
Jelko,
this.
the only reason you're still in business is your bland Gorp is the only thing these imperial tongues and palates can understand. If you had any sense of the true Gorp, you wouldn't be in here. You wouldn't be serving this gruel to anybody, because your palate would know better. You would. Some people, they say, oh, here comes Jalco, I can smell it. It's not the smell. You don't smell it. There's no flavor. There's no spices in your Gorp. You feel the heat coming. That's what you feel, because it's burnt. There's no taste. And I didn't go out of business because I couldn't make the payments. I mean, I couldn't. That's true, but that's not why. It's different. It's because I don't need to go into it, Jalco. I don't need to go into it. It's fine. It's fine. We're all having a good time. We're all on the same side.
You want some?
I got working here.
I got a special Imperial discount. You want some? I mean, it's bland, but it's Gorp. It's probably better than what they're serving you.
I'll take a bowl. All right, I'll take a bowl.
Reaches in, pulls out a bowl, slops some in. We see a couple things like moving in it before they settle into the thick, bland gruel that it is. Pours another bowl, brings it over to you and Jirak. Vela, how's your brother doing? Doing all right?
I assume so. I have not heard anything else.
They string you along. You do this job. You think they let him go? Haven't you proven enough to them?
What choice do I have? They shut down the corporativet. This is the work there is.
Breaks my heart.
Well,
you doing this when he's just wasting away?
Why do you work here?
Selling Gorp. Imperials love it. And for as long as they're here, might as well make a few credits.
I think a head pops into your room. It's an Imperial soldier. He says, hey guys, we're briefing in an hour. We've got an op later. Hey, Joker. And he's talking to Jalco, right?
He's talking to you, Jalco. He says there's a meeting soon. You might not understand because we're the Terps here, Jalco. He's waving. He's saying hi. No big deal.
Oh shit! Hey, Smokey, you tell this guy that dinner tonight was amazing. I want to get this recipe off him. It is just fucking insane. Like,
yeah, I'll tell him that. I'll be happy to tell him that, sir. Jalco, he says that your Gorp is the best thing he's ever had. He says it's amazing. He wants the recipe. That's the kind of Gorp you're making, Jalco. He loves it. He loves it.
He looks up and smiles up at you, random Imperial soldier. Spins.
He says he'll be happy. If you meet him later tonight, he'd be happy to give you the recipe, I think.
Oh wow! Well, I can't
quite the honor from old Jalco.
I mean, I would, except we'd be out in the countryside, So maybe another time.
I'll pass it along for him.
And off he goes, quite happy with himself.
Smokey. It's not going too well for them, right? You guys hear that, right? It's not going well at all.
What do you mean?
Well, they don't know.
No, Jalco.
Anything from anything here.
Jalco, Vela and I have a job, and we do that job. Our job isn't to just listen to people chatter over the Gorp, like whatever it is you're doing.
Good. It's best that you guys stay clean, but what if they don't let you go? What if all those promises they made to have you sell out your people, they don't meet those promises? I'm just saying. What if your brother just rots away there? What if they're torturing him? They'd probably use a different interpreter, don't you think?
I cannot change that.
If you could. Because right now you're not changing it, but do you think that if you keep doing this real good, that it'll be different? That they'll just wake up and go, well, Dizzy, I think they said Dizzy is good. She's good. She did good. We'll change what we offer her and give her something different. It's just going to be more of what you get. Pretty much. And then with the Empire, when they run away, they're going to abandon you, right? What are you going to have left?
I keep my brother alive for now. If the Empire leaves, then no one here has a reason to hold him anymore.
Vela will get her brother back. He'll be let out. And this, I don't know if you've been paying attention, Jalko. This thing's a machine. Everything has a step. If you don't do something, you break your own machine. They're not going to break their own machine. They're going to go, but they're going to pay us, and then they might go. And then we'll do what we want.
What if you're wrong? What if they decide that this just isn't worth their time anymore? And then I'm just asking, you think the rebels are going to be satisfied cutting off your heads?
Why would they cut off our heads, Jalko? We're just interpreters. We're just helping people communicate. That's how you stop a war, is you speak to each other. We're the most unwarlike of the bunch.
He leans against your rack. You ever thought about this? What they
Jelko,
think about
I don't want your gorp
you?
anymore. And Smokey throws his gorp down into his cart. I'm done talking to you, Jalko. I didn't like talking to you before the Empire, and I don't like talking to you now. He turns over into the bunk.
You hear me though, right, Vela? You know they don't. They're not going to let this go. They're not going to forget what you've done. Even if you didn't do anything, they blame you for it.
Yeah,
you know
they
that,
blame
right?
You too. Selling food to Imperials, not poisoning them when you had the chance.
Bravo. That's a good point. That's a real good point. I guess we got more in common.
You take their money, you come here, you serve them, you bow, you scrape, you laugh when they give you a nickname, and then you think everyone will be fine with that.
No, I don't. You don't either, do you?
I do what I have to do.
Well, I hope you enjoy the gorp. And he'll pull his little gorp back and turn it around, squeaks just a little bit as he starts to head
Not
out.
as good as Stegas.
Stegas is nothing but a memory.
You'll be nothing but a memory.
I did not realize that racks would, like, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, racks are bunks in this context. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Probably should have explained the terminology.
No, it was made clear, so it's fine. Yeah, do we want anything more from that? Or
yeah, we want anything more from this scene?
Not me.
It's good. Good place to.
Dizzy was this close to just going finding that random Imperial soldier and
Yeah,
telling
right.
on Joker.
He's been spitting in your food, at
Yeah.
least. Okay, cool. I have an eye on a family scene. It's the type we haven't had yet. Any jumping out at you, Rich, that you want to see on screen?
Whoa. Wow, the payment is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I think
go
it's
with
a
it.
hard jump, but I think I'm
It is.
interested in it.
Yeah, okay. It probably works better with Smokey, but
Yeah.
if it's a distant relative, then I think it'll work either way.
Let's check in though. The payment is on row 12, and it very explicitly is about endangerment to a family member. Do we want to find something else, or are folks okay?
I'm fine with this scene, but I don't think I'd want to be in it. I'm fine with having the scene in the game, but yeah.
I'm fine
You
with
think,
it.
Cody?
Yeah. And if it's going to be Smokey, that works just as well.
Okay. All right. Then we'll proceed. And yeah, let's do this. I think, Donogh, if it's okay, I'll be GM1 for this one. You get to
Okay.
carry a little bit of weight.
I had just changed my name on the Zoom, so I will.
Oh no!
No,
I'm
it's
so
okay, it's
sorry.
okay.
No,
I
I'm
will
going to be a
change
rebel
back.
kidnapper.
Okay. Cody, do you have a name or a specific relation for who I'll be playing?
I think it's a cousin, I think it's a cousin or a nephew or niece, and I think it's been put upon Stega that he's the one who has to pay this ransom because of this understanding that this is why it happened. So I think it's a cousin, not immediate family, but step away. And as for a name, nothing. Got no name in me. Let's see. I'm
just gonna.
Yeah, this
I
name
guess we can
speaks
just
to me.
rob one from the other
there you go.
player characters. So I will go with Karian, who is your cousin. Okay.
Anesh, so this place where this scene takes place is Somjai Park, Kuserich, Kuserik. It's a slum. What did it used to be before the Imperials came?
Yeah, I think it was like a fairly like a poor neighborhood, but a vibrant one. Like it was people who didn't have a lot of money, but there was like a strong community. Yeah, that sort of place.
Nice. So I think it's ransom payment, freeze a relative. Relative is probably in a speeder somewhere nearby. This is the drop off. They're just a few people who are sitting on them, and you've got to come and hand over credits. Oh, Smokey, are they Imperial credits or are they some kind of medium exchange for Sarai?
I wonder, is it credits at all, or is it maybe a bag of Imperial laundry? Maybe it's uniforms. Maybe it's something that I might have been able to pull out of a trash can. Maybe Stega doesn't even know what it is. Maybe it's just a specific, you're going to pick this up in this operating base and you're going to bring it to us.
Interesting. And what we have the rebel kidnapper is a tusked individual. They're wearing the ruddy clothes that are common to the people, but maybe they have a cap on that you use to identify them. There are people milling about with this kidnapper is waiting for you to show and pay up.
Yeah, Stega approaches and kind of walks past him and then stops and turns around and looks away. And he is Karajan, they here?
You got the bag?
Yeah, I have the bag. What do you want me to do with it? Are they safe? Where are they? How does this work?
It's not so complicated. Just take the bag, drop it off near that carking Imperial receptacle. Head over, check the bag. Let my friends know, and then they're let free. Anything that's weird, they drive off.
Do I recognize this rebel kidnapper? Is this somebody Stega knows or has seen?
I think it's somebody Stega's seen. Maybe
they're local.
Yeah, Stega's seen them during a patrol with the unit.
All right, nothing's bad gonna happen. I did everything you asked. I'm gonna still do it. Just be smart about everything, right? I'm being smart. We're all being smart, right? Everybody's being smart.
Okay.
All right. And then Stega takes the bag, drops it off at the receptacle, walks off down the road a little bit to where he can kind of see the area, but not be in the middle of it. Waits for whatever comes next.
Kidnapper gives a couple beats, and then he strolls over, throws something away in the receptacle, grabs the bag without looking in it, and then what feels like forever passes. He disappears. Feels like you've been screwed.
I look towards the nearest patrol. Get ready to walk over to the Imperials.
How does Karyan look when they step into the scene?
They look fearful, like this really kind of hunched over, afraid of someone turning on them or revealing that this is just a trick. I think on their face there's like a sign of a bruise. Maybe it's like got past that yellow into this kind of multicolor phase, so it's old but still very visible. And yeah, I think as they look across the road or whatever it is to see Stega, it's like relief kind of floods through them. Like this is not just another cruel trick. And
Stega waves her over.
Yeah, and kind of maybe a little bit unsteady, like not up for running, but walks quickly over, kind of looking twice at that Imperial patrol, that's on a corner or whatever.
Carry on. Are you okay? You all right? You're good? We good? You're good? You good?
Is it done?
Yeah, it's all done. It's all done. It's all done. Come on, let's go. We got to get you home. Your dad's crazy for you. Come on.
What did you have to do for them?
It was a ransom thing. I don't know, these criminal types. They wanted something. It's not important. It's important is you're here. You're here. We got you back. We're gonna get you home, and then we're gonna get you out of the city. We need to get you somewhere safe. Your family needs to be somewhere safe. They know where you live, and we can't have that anymore.
Oh, and then like there's a look of panic in their eyes when you say they know where you live, because it's like maybe they were looking forward to sleeping in their own bed, but now that kind of comfort has been ripped away. Do they think we're all Imperial stooges? And like, yeah, they're using words that were obviously drummed into them by whoever was holding them.
Stooges? No, what? I'm working.
You're working for them. That's why they took me. I've never done anything like that.
Let's get you home. We got to get you home. Whether it was, it's if it wasn't you, it would have been somebody else. If it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else. It's not because of us. It's not. They didn't do it to you because of me. They did it to us because of them. We're just caught in the middle. It's their war, not our war. This isn't our war. We're just getting by, Carrion. We're just getting by, and you're gonna get home, and you're gonna see your dad. You're gonna give him a big hug. You're gonna be safe. He's gonna take care of you.
But Staggy, you could do something else with your life. This can't happen again.
All right, Karen, come on. Let's get you home. You don't need to worry about any more of this. Don't worry about it. Forget what they said. Forget what you had to do. Forget where you were. That didn't happen. The past few days didn't happen. We've took care of it. You're safe now. You're going to be safe. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not going to happen again.
And Carrion allows themselves to be kind of bundled away towards the family home. But yeah, the kind of paranoid, everyone is out to get me kind of body language.
Yeah, and when Carrion isn't doing that, when she isn't looking, Stega is looking. He's just as on edge, but doesn't want to be seen being on edge.
Okay. Do you want to add anything else to that scene, or is that a good place to cut?
Scene.
That was good.
Yeah, are we due another break? Looking at the clock.
Sure. Okay, we are back. This is a family scene type. It takes place in a Dostoy village tea house. It's been here since before the Empire, this tea house. But Cody, what just outside of the tea house reminds us that this place is under the watchful eye of the Empire?
Yeah. Outside of the tea house, there's an exterior areas for drinking and eating snacks, and they typically traditionally have hanging carpets and silks, and it creates a lot of shade but it's very vibrant. And in front of that space has now been imperial flags just hang in front of it. And so now the view is no longer of the beautiful mountains, it's of the imperial symbol.
Nice. It just flaps in the wind. So it's the sound that you hear because it's so large. And occasionally it snaps like a whip. I love that. But there's still a light amount of Sarai music playing. Not too loud because of the imperial protocols on noise reduction. And Vela, you're here. How long have you been waiting before you're visited by a distant cousin? And what have you been doing?
I think I've been here for a couple of hours. I got here early. So I was here like 45 minutes early, but then I've been waiting for over an hour since they were supposed to get here.
How many empty cups are sitting in front of you?
I think I don't think I have any empty cups. I've drank several cups, but there's not a lot of people here, so they come and get them and ask if I want to refill or something. But now I have one that's gone cold, and I'm just like staring at it.
Then the tea vendor comes. We see the tea vendor come up, and then it's as if they're going to ask you if you want another refill, but they notice something. They're standing behind you. You haven't noticed them yet. They see Tarek has appeared, and maybe they know, and they just turn and head to the back of the tea house, kind of vacating the space. Tarek enters.
Yeah, I don't think I quite notice. I'm too busy like thinking about what's going on.
So I think Tarek slides into the seat opposite you, catching you by surprise a little bit. And I think like she is a distant cousin, so maybe slightly older than you. Maybe would have babysat you when you were much younger or something like that. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah. To be honest, I don't want to be here at all.
Okay, but here we are.
Any imps around?
Maybe the one over there. And she kind of nods at a person sitting in by themselves in a booth. It looks like it, but I'm not sure.
Well, I guess if you don't like what I have to say, we'll find out. Just a tourist or one of them.
Right, but what are you going to tell me? What do you have to tell me? What is it?
So she fishes into her shoulder bag. So she's carrying like a satchel bag and takes out this small object that is like wrapped in cloth and puts it on the table next to you, next to your cold cup of tea. When you open it, or when it's opened, you recognize it as something your brother used to love when he was younger, and maybe even something like one of the only things he brought into prison when he was put in there.
Yeah, I think it's a ring. It was kind of a gaudy ring that he got somewhere, and he used to wear it when he was a kid, and then his fingers grew bigger, so he had it on a chain around his neck.
And as you're looking at it, you hear a couple of the tea kettles that are on display jingle together, and then there's this growing rumble just outside, past the flag. A large Imperial ground vehicle rumbles past with a squad marching alongside it.
Yeah, and I put my hand on the ring, like the ring kind of rattles a bit on the table, and I put my hand on it, thinking I'm just keeping it from falling onto the floor.
I remember the day the two of you got those. I never seen someone so attached to something so, I don't know, worthless.
Yes, we was Uncle Mara who gave them to us. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He said they were from a space pirate treasure.
There was no end to the tales that man told us when we believed him.
Yes, he didn't tell me the truth until I lost mine. Lost my ring. I think he tried to. He thought it would comfort me, but just made me feel stupid.
Well, now is a different time, but I think the message is the same. Stupid dreams will kill you and your brother. There's some people in this organization who don't care what the price is for our victory, who espouse a kind of if you're not with us, you're against us.
I know.
The Empire is losing. They're going to be gone soon. I want you to be on the right side when that happens.
like my brother.
He's on no side right now.
Is that what will happen to me as well? If I am captured, I will be on no side.
I'd give a lot if that were the worst to happen to you, thrown in prison. That would be a good day. But I think they'll do worse to you specifically if you keep on this course.
And if I don't, then my brother dies.
Well, from where they sit, you're the traitor. I'd worry about you.
So you want me to abandon my brother, your cousin? You want him to die in prison?
If you were on our side, we could get him out.
How can I trust this?
You can trust me. I don't want either of you to come to any harm.
Would you like a refill? Tea vendor asks as they come in. Did you want something to drink?
A fresh pot, maybe. Thank you.
Quickly pour into your cup some warm tea. So now it's this tepid mess. And then they hustle back to get a fresh pot.
Just think about it, Vela. Please.
I will think about it. And I think this is when she gets up to leave, taking the ring, like not like grabbing it and running, but like just taking it and holding it and walking out.
And I think Tarek, her gaze follows you out, and she waits for a fresh pot of tea. Is that where we cut?
Where we cut?
Yeah. It's good.
That was good. Good job. Impressive stuff.
Okay. So I feel like we probably want another group scene. I'm not sure how we are in time, Rich.
If we could, yeah, I think a group scene's good, but I can go for 20 minutes tops.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll take a break. Let's take a look at group scenes. Oh, I just realized we could set this up with a filter. But anyway, it's fine. I can read. Do we go to the TOA update? Or Do we want to do?
Yeah, maybe the TOA update works.
Or mix-ups. Mix-ups is interesting too. Did you have one that you were looking at?
I had been thinking of either the close call or the asshole, but but yeah, I'm happy to go with either of yours. The TOA update sounds good because it kind of things are starting to fall apart, right?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Do you want to revisit Captain Harglen, or
you bet I do?
Okay. So the TOA is the transfer of authority. This means that maybe a corporation or a local governor is taking control of the planet as the Imperials hand over. This scene takes place in the forward operation base Steadfast. The Terps are being briefed on the TOA by an Imperial officer.
Oh, if you're seated, there are a number of other combat interpreters there. Troopers, not stormtroopers, but troopers are stationed at the back, and a couple near the lectern behind which Captain Harglen is standing. As I said, an Imperial drawdown at this particular base is underway. We want to make sure that you are all informed. This, however, is good news. The local forces will be taking over. This will be a measured transfer of power, a TOP, a transfer of authority. Wherein Empire honors its commitments. You will all be part of the relocation protocol, and all of you will be moved with your families as per your request. So, I want to make sure that all of you were brought up to speed so that you can continue your good work for us during this transition. And then when the base is closed, your transfer off of planet will be completed, and you'll be free to go about your lives without having to worry anymore about Sarai. All of your questions should be answered in the Q&A document, which was provided to you as you entered this area. If you have any follow-up questions, please do see your assigned squad or unit leader.
So I think at the back of the room, you will see a civilian, in a, office suit, who is an Imperial administrator. And I think he is an older man. He takes the cue from Captain Harglen to say, there are some details about paperwork, pay changes, and so on. As the captain said, those are all in the Q&A, but if you do have any questions, we shall see.
Ordnance, go ahead and take over here. Thank you all for coming, and again, the Empire values your service. And with that, he crisply marches off.
Yeah, I got a question. Excuse me. So I see the Q&A. I'll look through that. I don't think it has this, because this probably doesn't come up. When will we be able to be moved off planet? This transfer, before with the troopers, with the army, will be moved with the military.
Well, as the as the captain said, there is a transition period when both local corporate forces will be in place and also imperial forces. But the timing of the transfer is we can't apprise you of that at present for operational security. You'll understand the date itself uh, is on a need to know basis. But yes, to answer your question, you will be transferred off world with your company.
When how much time will we have to get ready for that move? Do we need to be ready? If you can't tell us when it's going to happen, do we need to be ready to go now? Do we need to be ready? Will we have a couple of days to put our things together? How soon? How much will you? How much will you let us know?
We will give you more than enough time to gather your things and to ensure your family is on site. Rest assured, we'll give you enough time.
I also have a question. Will this other local authority also take control of local law enforcement and such?
Everything that is currently undertaken by imperial organizations will be, at the end of the transition period, taken on by local organizations. So that would be everything. There will obviously be certain things outside of the realm of local authority, but essentially, from your point of view, everything will be done by the local organizations.
Okay, thank you.
So just to note, as per the Q&A, in the transition period, your pay will become under the local corporate authority, and so the currency will change to local scrip from imperial scrip at the, as stated, 3.15 rate, which is the rate as per yesterday, which was in the previous Q&A that was circulated. So the arrangements will be as normal. That will be put into your accounts, etc., etc. So there'll be no change there.
A question. You said it's going to change from the imperial credits to the local currency. For those of us who are going off world, can we continue to collect it in imperial credits? The local currency won't be valuable to me much longer, and I would hate to have to do an exchange before leaving.
Well, you will be free to do an exchange at any time from local currency to imperial scrip. But as to which currency you get paid in, that is obviously up to the corporate entities involved. And as far as I'm aware, they intend to pay you in local scrip. So that's not up to us, unfortunately. Well, thank you for your time. If you do have any further questions, you can send a message via your datapad, and we will get to those. And if necessary, circulate an additional addendum to the Q&A at a future point in time. Thank you.
And scene.
In which we reveal we have been in far too many of these kinds of meetings ourselves.
God. It's amazing how, like, none of that was in the write-up, but it seemed perfectly appropriate. That was awesome. really painful but awesome.
Okay. So I think we will be taking a break there, right? So
Unless we think we could sneak because actually Beth's son hasn't eaten yet, so I've got 9 minutes. If we think we can sneak on 9 minute scene. By the way, in the write-up of the game, it says what was it? If a scene is longer than a minute, any scene that lasts 5 minutes is going on too long. That's what it says in the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Which is every single scene. The shortest of our scenes has been merely double that, you know.
Yeah, that's
Morningstar. Yeah.
That's insane. But I bet there's a thought behind that of
that's
when
definitely
it's so fast, it's confusing. It's almost kind of like what's happening, you know?
Do we have any introspective scenes that folks would like to explore? Because I think it's a really interesting idea. Which one of those are those?
There is. Sorry, let me. There are a couple. Let me just locate them.
I mean, I kind of get it because it's easy. I think it's easy to get to like adding things out and softening a bit by doing all the stuff around instead of honing in on like the part that hurts.
There's one in the family called The Burden, where both of us facilitate as the voice of the Terps' dreams or nightmares.
That was the one. Yeah. Who wants to step up to the bird? I think we've had family scenes with both, so whoever wants it.
Or maybe, you know, both people and one is having a really good time in their thoughts and the other is having a really bad night.
Interesting. Yeah, we just pick up with you guys at your racks, aka your bunks, asleep, having dreams and or nightmares.
I think isn't it like introspection thing, and it's more. I think it's like figurative dreams and nightmares, or are they literal? I'm not sure.
Well, it's on road 10, and then GM1 facilitate as the voice of the dreams, tell them all about the bright future. And GM2 facilitate as the voice of the nightmares, tell them all about how it's going to end.
So it's a scene where the two GMs just whisper evil at us. We're good.
It seems like it.
All right.
False hope or evil. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's not actual dreams or nightmares. It's the Terp is alone between assignments in a quiet place. They have plenty of time to think, and you know that leads to bad things, right?
I would be happy to do it. It sounds like a fun scene.
A preference on dreams or nightmares, Anish?
I kind of want to have both if it's possible, because I think if it's just one or the other, it gets a bit.
That's true.
Bland. Like the point is the tension. You know.
Yeah,
but we could do it like do this like really snappy. We can do with both characters and just
yeah. So Anders, why don't you like tell us where we see Dizzy, and then like what they're thinking about, and then I'm happy to do. Do you want to do dreams or nightmares, Rich?
I can make nightmares.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I think this is Vela. Vela is sitting in what like a big hallway in this mansion, the mayor's mansion, and she's sitting on this uncomfortable bench out in the corridor, just waiting. She's she's just been in for an interpretation session, and she's waiting for them to call her again.
I'm going to tell you your brother's dead. You knew it was coming. This is it. Are you going to cry for them? They'll expect that. If you don't cry, then they'll think you knew already. Then you won't have a side anymore.
There's there's two Imperial soldiers at the end of the corridor standing around a coffee machine or whatever, calf, and they're talking about things they're going to do when they get home. Places they're going to be, stuff they haven't done in years. And Vela, you'll be on that shuttle with them. You can walk the streets without fear, hold your head up, be a good Imperial citizen. Drink calf all night long. It doesn't matter. You've got nothing to do in the morning. No raids to go on. It's gonna be quiet. Just think of that quiet life.
As long as you saw off your tusks so you can look like them. They grow back, though. You could have them pulled. Then you'll look like them. You'll still have special marks on your chain code. Planets will they let you go to? They're not letting you out of here. You're a risk.
A valuable Imperial servant. You've saved lives. You've saved so much here.
You can't do that once they're gone. What could you actually do? Nothing. You're just a liability. Possible spy. You have nothing more to give. Trained. Nothing but pulp. They're going to leave you behind. You're never getting off this planet.
Next shuttle, we will be gone. Free and clear. Leaving life's troubles behind us. You believe it, right?
So there's some abnormality in the process. Has anyone actually left? Has anyone from Sarai actually left that we know of? They're all in process.
I think we can cut it there.
Yeah, I think the dreams are silent on that.
Okay, cool. So we'll take a longer break here.
Okay, so our next scene is going to be with Stega, the casualty station. This scene takes place in the forward operating base Steadfast Field Hospital. The Terp is visiting an Imperial officer who was badly hurt in an ambush. The Terp dragged them to safety and killed 2 rebel attackers, saving the officer's life. the Terp may actually be in trouble for touching a firearm. Yes, the Imperial Blaster. Yeah. Okay. So I will be playing Lieutenant Path, who is the injured Imperial officer. I guess some framing questions. Anders, what's the kind of state of mind, if you can call it that, of this base right now? Is this like one casualty in many, or is this like an isolated incident?
I think it's more on the one of many side, but it's not like publicly acknowledged because they are pulling out, but they're trying to still present the facade of being in control. So it's very, they try to hide and all the casualties, that sort of thing.
And Cody, where did this ambush occur? And what were you doing at the time?
I think this ambush occurred as the Imperial forces were changing buildings. They were starting to move their presence out of a building and moving the new operators, the new authorities into place. And that building had it was a desirable target. And they thought, hey, at this changeover, there'll actually be the weakest. It'll be the most different. It'll be the easiest to slip in with some changes. And maybe they were trying to, get their hands on some. The rebels are trying to get their hands on some tech, perhaps some information, some intel. But they saw that this changing of the guard was the opportune time for it. So it was nearby in the city proper, just as we were moving out of one building, maybe like a smaller building off of the mayor estate that we talked about earlier that the ISB had taken over for interrogations. An outcropping from that building is where it took place.
Okay. So yeah, Lieutenant Path is in the med bay, in the field hospital, and you're visiting him. So yeah, he is like wrapped up, or a medical droid is beeping away at him. And I think he like looks over at you as you enter and kind of blinks and kind of gives a weak wave to you.
Yeah. Stega approaches. Hey, Path, how you holding up? I mean, Lieutenant.
Stega, man, I think we're beyond Lieutenant. You can call me Arel.
Arel. Good to know your name, Lieutenant Path Arel. How are they taking care of you in here? I mean, I'm sure they are, the droid and whatnot. I usually don't see the droids.
Well, the droid is giving me a 62% chance of full recovery, or whatever.
That's pretty good, 62%. And I'm sure, whatever the droid can't do, the Empire can take care of, right? They can put you. I've heard they put people back together sometimes. You're a tough one, Path. You're good. You're gonna be good.
I think that's beyond my pay grade, Stega. But hey, you're. I mean, once I get to the paperwork, I'm putting you up for a commendation, but it's not gonna it's not going to be enough. You're like a real hero. You saved lives out there today. Mine most of all.
I appreciate that the commendation. You know that I've heard from other folks. Those look really good. You know, I've never I've never killed anybody like that before. That's you know, I'm glad I saved you. I'm glad I saved you. And you know, some of the other boys. It's different. It's not what you'd expect.
Yeah, well, you stood up. You did it, right? That's what counts. But hey, there's going to be like an incident report. There's going to be an investigation, like there's for everything. You just have to say that I told you to take the blaster, right?
You or that you didn't. I'm supposed to lie.
You're gonna tell them.
I'm gonna tell them
that I told you. I ordered you to take the blaster. You hear me?
I hear you. I just, you know, I'm thinking back to him. I hear you. Yeah. You, Lieutenant Path, told me to take the blaster, and then I used it. But Lieutenant Path ordered me to take the blaster.
Yeah. Because like S.14 on the agreement, says that taking up arms or taking unauthorized Imperial equipment is can lead to a discharge or worse, or criminal penalties. So you gotta say that I told you to do it.
Okay. Well, it'll all be fine. It'll all come out in the wash. It'll be fine. Path.
No. Nothing's coming out in the wash, Stega. That's what you're gonna say.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And don't let them trick you. This conversation never occurred.
Got it.
I think like the effort is kind of, I don't know whether the medical droid or whatever is like beeping at a enhanced rate. He is like maybe putting too much stress on the system.
It is important that Lieutenant Path is able to rest.
You got it, droid. I just wanted to check on him. I should go. It was good to see that you're okay, Lieutenant.
You're a cocking hero, Stega. Don't forget that.
That's kind of you to say. I don't feel like much of one. But maybe that's just how it feels.
Cut. Is that where we go?
Yeah, seems like a good cut.
Hey, we did a morning style, star style cut there. I'm proud of us.
Go us. So what do you think? Do we want a group scene or do we want to cut to a process scene with Vela?
So you're supposed to do a group scene for as many players as there are. Is that right?
I think so.
That's what it says. Group scene as many as players,
so
which means 2.
We might be one behind, but
is that right? We only did the one? Oh, okay.
We've done 2. Yeah, we've done 2.
Oh, okay. I say Andres gets another scene group, and then then after that is the finale, right? Because
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
our three main ones. Yeah, I
Sounds
think
good.
that seems like a good flow.
Okay. Rich, which particular terrible process scene are we going to drop on on Vela?
Well, Path just got messed up pretty bad, so the doubt seems timing wise a little odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although maybe this is more about well, obviously, like Stega has made the ultimate display of his loyalty, but
Of
there's
course.
been no such no such event for Vela, right? But maybe, yeah. So, or we could go the more kind of bureaucratic route, right?
Man, the deployment seems timing wise pretty perfect because Lieutenant Path would be going
Okay.
home.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, it works. It works, I think. Yeah, I think it works.
It's weird to shift things over to Dizzy after Smokey was the one who saved his life. But that said, I'm sure Path has already told Smokey, "You're good. I've got your back."
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. So,
Awesome.
I guess
I'm
I
gonna
don't
make you
need
path it up.
I do not need to change my name. If you're happy with that, Rich.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
We start off as near the starport that has been set up in an area that didn't have a starport before the Empire arrived. They flattened several buildings, dropped a bunch of Duracrete and temporary hangars. And there's a large, like a Gazanti class cruiser. So if you've seen Mandalorian in the second season, it was the big, gigantic ship that the Mandalorians all went on when one of the guys electrocuted himself rather than tell the truth about the Empire. So it's humongous, big enough to carry something like 4 to 6 TIE fighters on it, and it's been converted into something that can carry a large number of troopers. And we see as there are stormtroopers here, but they're not carrying folks, but some people who have been wounded to the point where they can't walk up the ramp are being carried on quick stretchers. But Lieutenant Path is there, and it's obvious that he's going home. Is he bandages? Do we have like an eye covered? What is Lieutenant Path's obvious wound?
I think like his usually like crisp imperial jacket is kind of over his shoulders. He has an arm in a sling and it's slightly hidden, but like you can tell he's not 100%.
And then Cody, this place was made into a starport. Things were flattened, cleared out. It has a certain amount of perimeter to ensure safety from rebel insurgents. But what still casts a shadow of home here of Sarai? Here.
I think what it is, the thing that comes to me first is that it's flattened. But in Sarai, everything has always been built on top of old things. And the ground isn't all simple Duracrete. There's a lot of old stonework that the buildings and the neighborhoods that grew on top of it were built from and used as foundations as the flora of the planet continues to grow and taller and taller. At a certain point, eventually people just started building on top of buildings, and so now flattened into the ground, you can see these old mosaics and stonework kind of buried a little bit beneath the dust, but there's still the shape. And here and there, where the wind has blown some of the dirt away, you can see these gorgeous mosaics.
That's cool. Good job.
So yeah, I think Lieutenant Path is, grabbing his bag and, kind of stops at the speeder or whatever, the grand vehicle that's brought him here, to kind of say goodbye to Vela. Hey, I thought I was going to be here for till the end, but you'll be on the next one out.
Will I? Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm only leaving now because of this injury. So if I were staying, I'd be saying the same thing as I'm sure the captain will say. You're all leaving with us. That's a promise.
No one has left so far.
Imperial bureaucracy is a pain in the backside. I can't deny it, but they'll stamp your papers. Don't worry. After what you guys did for us, I mean, I can't imagine they'll do it any other way.
I am glad you have faith in your bureaucracy. I hope they will take good care of you.
Well, I mean, fate mightn't be the right word, but it takes more effort for them to do things not by the book than by the book. So, if anything, bureaucratic inefficiency is on your side, because that's the process.
I hope you are right.
Well, listen, when you get off world, you look me up.
In the distance, you hear the crack of gunfire, and then the low of one of the automated guns firing a small explosion.
Okay, well, they're not gonna. Well, maybe they'll not leave it at me, but you'll have a warning. These things are pretty slow to take off. So hey, you keep an eye out for Stega, right?
I will try.
You make sure he doesn't mess up his paperwork. Doesn't go back to the Gorp business or whatever the fuck it was.
Lieutenant Path. Lieutenant Path.
Oh.
You should go now. Go now, and I will take care of Stega.
Okay. You make sure he's on the shuttle out with you. Okay. Yeah, I better run.
Yes, you go.
I'll see you on the other side.
Go now.
And you see his path makes his way, and it's up the ramp. The door closes as he watches you, Vela, leave. And then he leaves you behind. Heads off into space.
Mm.
All right, a group scene.
I mean, is the mix-ups a real kick, or do you want to go with something else?
Wow. Yeah, let's do the mix-ups. That's terrible.
So in this scene, the Terps are relaxing in forward operating base Steadfast when official mail comes for the two of them. What? How are you guys relaxing?
I could see maybe Stega and Villa playing cards, like maybe playing Savak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No one had ever seen Sabak before the Empire arrived.
Yeah, so I think we're kind of arguing about the rules, and no, you don't. You play it like this, and yeah, that sort of thing. You bet now. It's not my turn to bet.
Sorry, I forget. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure, Villa, that what you're trying to do is play Corellian Spike. I think that's like a different version of this game. I don't. How do you have so many versions of the same game? Okay, all right. Here, I call. I call, or do I bet? Is it the same thing?
You bet. I think is it. That's how they did it when they played with me. When I played with the soldiers.
Okay, all right. So then I bet. So okay, all right. Because we got the. All right, I bet 2 chits. Yeah, I bet 2. I bet 2. All right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We're in. We're in.
So yeah, I think maybe Platoon Sergeant Boren is passing out mail for all of the Imperial soldiers, and like at the bottom of the bag, there's like letters for both Stega and Vela. Here you go. Looks official.
It has the big Imperial symbol on it. Doesn't have your name. It has your, your digits that you were assigned.
Take the mail. Here it is, Villa. Here it is. I got a good feeling about this. I talked with Lieutenant Path. I was getting a commendation. This is my paperwork. We're out of here. Me and my family. We're gonna. Man, this is us. Well, this is us. It's gotta be. All right, let's get.
Dizzy looks skeptical, but she's trying to put on a trying to smile for her friend, and yeah.
So who's opening theirs first?
Stega is opening his.
Yeah.
So this looks like a very short form letter. The Imperial stationary masthead, all that kind of stuff is there.
Makes sense. It doesn't need to be long. It's just going to say I'm accepted. We're good. We're good.
And it's sort of like dear and then your alphanumeric code, comma. And we are writing to inform you that due to, and then there's like a redacted for security reasons black line. Your P67 visa application is no longer in the possession of the Imperial Diplomatic Service. We are very sorry for this occurrence. Please reapply through the usual channels.
They lost it.
I see your face and I kind of reach out and grab your shoulder.
They doesn't make sense because it says I'm pretty good at basic. I get it. It says that they lost it or it's not in their possession anymore, and that I need to reapply. But if it's just not in their possession, they just need to get it back from wherever they put it, right? I mean, like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. They lost it. How do they lose it? It's electronic. Everything's electronic. You know what? This is a mix-up. I'll take care of it. I hope you got better news. This is just another hurdle for old Vasif, and his whole clan. But I'm gonna go talk to the boss. He knows. I'm sure he has. This is for the wrong person. I mean, the numbers are right, but there's it's blacked out. It's secure. That doesn't make any sense, Bill. It doesn't make any sense. This can't be. It can't be this. I was told it wouldn't be this. It's not. I'll take care of it. It's not even a problem.
I don't say anything. I just open my own letter, and now at this point I assume it's going to be bad news.
Dear 45634, your P67 visa application arrived with the necessary fees drawn on the Bank of Dostoy. Unfortunately, this bank has ceased operation. We apologize for the effort, but you must reapply your P67 visa application.
Trying to finding some excuse.
They lost yours too?
No, they say the bank is gone.
How can a bank be gone? They pay us with the company. The company pays us. It goes into a company account. How does none of this makes sense. This can't be right. There must be a word we don't understand. There must be something we don't get about it. We need to find somebody to help.
I don't think we're leaving.
No, that can't be it. Villa, not for nothing, but I'm a bit of a hero. I saved Lieutenant Pat. They're not gonna leave me and my family behind. I got a commendation. I had to kill people. They can't leave us behind. It's gonna get sorted out. I'll go get the stuff. We can start the application again. It's not even gonna be necessary. It'll be fast tracked because I'll just put down Stega Vesif, aka Smokey. They'll know it's me.
You do what you think is best. I hope I will see you again. Because at this point, Dizzy is going to get the fuck out of here. or try at least.
So we cut and go to our last scene.
Yeah.
So, last scene takes place in forward operating base Steadfast. Two Imperial soldiers, Platoon Sergeants Thorin and Captain Hardlin, as appropriate, are saying goodbye to the Terps. The transfer authority has taken place and they've been ordered out as part of the Imperial drawdown. Rich, you want to be Captain Hardlin?
You bet I do.
Eager or reluctant? What do you think?
He's going to seem reluctant.
Okay. So I will be Platoon Sergeant Borin.
Seems appropriate. He'd be ready to move on.
Yeah. Cody, what do you think? You know, this is kind of all of those Imperial troops are moving out. You know, just like they did in the kind of mayoral palace. What kind of signs do you see that, you know, the kind of local corporate forces are really not up to scratch?
The biggest thing is how close all of the populace has been allowed to gather around the spaceport. People are inside parts of it as platoons of troopers get moved out. Where the troopers were standing, it immediately gets filled by civilians and immediately gets pushed forward and forward and forward. It's to the point where from the, you know, the docking bay or from the landing bay, you can see 100 yards away, people are starting to get closer and closer, trying to get their way to a ship. That wouldn't have been allowed to happen under Imperial rule.
Mm-hmm. And Anders, what you know, what can't you believe the Imperials are kind of leaving behind?
Ooh. I think they have like an AT-AT that they've been using for troop transports, and it's like now it's not going to fit on the ship, and they're like removing some of the guns from it, that sort of thing, and pulling out computers to not leave any information behind, but they're leaving the machine itself.
Any other questions, Rich, you want to fill out?
Those are great. Those are great.
So yeah, Sergeant Boren is he is, I know, he roots into one of his kind of ammo packs to take out this, I don't know, hip flask or like a cigar or the equivalent, or maybe both. And like he has been saving this cigar since day one on World. And you know, he cracks it open and lights up and cannot get that grin off his face. Hey man, good to eat decent food again. Not these shitty rations or this gorp stuff.
Oh, perhaps Joker's Corp was not half bad. Listen, Smoky, Dizzy, I assure you, while we have been ordered off-world, I will be pursuing every opportunity to expedite the P7s so that you will be soon following us. Don't worry. We made a commitment and the Empire will meet it.
We in the Q&A session and on the transfer, they said we'd go with you right now. That when we the Imperial Administrator, he said that we'd leave with you at the same time. We
He
should
did.
be.
He did, and that was how the plans were drawn up. I lobbied for such a result, unfortunately, and this hurts me more than you could know. I've lost many hours of sleep, but after looking at the regs and all of the equipment, it's not going to be possible to fit you on. Rest assured, we will be securing civilian transport for all of you very shortly. Sorry, but it's out of my hands. Sergeant?
Oh yeah, like the company over on Grugao is going to be coming out tomorrow. You're gonna be on that show, for sure. They don't have the
Yes.
heavy equipment up there, so you'll be out with them.
We're leaving behind an AT-AT. This is difficult kind of decisions that I have to make. Don't worry, Smokey, Dizzy. You'll be leaving with the troop from Grugao. Coming tomorrow. Stay safe. Go ahead, get everything packed so that you can expedite your exfiltration. Well, said, very difficult for me to have to say this, but I do have my orders. You understand. Thank you very much. And Sergeant, let's go. The sooner we go, the sooner we can file the fresh versions of P67s. Make sure that this is all on the up and up.
Yeah, come on, let's get moving.
Bella,
we'll never forget you. You saved the. I mean, Lieutenant Path wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So yeah.
Where's Lieutenant Path? I know he's shipped out already, but he said I was going to get a commendation. He said I could go. He said it would be I shouldn't be waiting.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, Smokey. Yes. Hold on just a minute. And then he heads over and he opens up a little desk drawer and he pulls out and he has this like little medal. And he comes over and he opens it up and commendation did come through. See, Lieutenant Path took care of you, just as he said. Closes the. Here you go. Hands you the tiny little commendation pin.
Stega.
Your name's misspelled.
It's got to be, of course, yeah. And he just looks at Vela. And he just, Vela, what are we gonna do? What?
Okay, we're out of here, Captain. Come on, up that ramp.
Day, your service to the Empire will not be forgotten. Then turns and he's out.
Vega, we have to secure our own passage or hide or something. They're not going to bring us out. And throw that away. You don't want to be found with that.
Stega takes the commendation to Siga, Smokey, yes, Zev. He just dumps it in a bin as he walks out. They're not going to let us go. No one's going to help us, Vela. No one's going to help me. I hope for your sake your brother is a rebel and he can help you out. I killed rebels. I'm done.
Maybe maybe there is something here we can. You see how things are. It's chaos. Maybe we can take something, some information, something we can trade.
They're not going to want to trade with me. I think Stega, head down, just walks back home.
What do we see from Diz?
Yeah, she's going to probably not carefully enough try to grab some computer that's stashed somewhere, some data crystals or something, some kind of documents that she probably don't know what they are, if they're actually valuable, and try to get out of the base somehow. And I think that's like she's got this pile of documents under her jacket, and she's heading towards the fence line or something. And I think that's the last we see.
Yeah.
It's a very harsh cut to the scene and the game, but maybe that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
All right. After play, take some time to debrief after the game. Toss your character sheet into a pile. And we're supposed to follow up with the scene cards in order to de-roll and de-stress. With this, we'll go ahead and what do you think, Dan? Do we want to go ahead and stop the recording here? That way we
I think it's good to stop the recording to help get out of our roles.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys, for playing this Terps with us. We'll bring this to a close.